Hi class, my name is Terry Bonner and I am doing my astronomy video presentation on the natural phenomenon that is called the blood moon event. And before I get going on my PowerPoint presentation, I just wanted to show you a video I found in YouTube, and it came, CNN reported this through NASA with the courtesy of the Griffith Observatory, and it's actually showing the eclipse. So I just want to play this. Okay, so that's the video, and again, my presentation is on the blood moons that are going on. So 2014 and 2015. So what is a blood moon? It's a term for the full lunar eclipse. There are other eclipses. For example, a solar eclipse are when the moon passes between the sun and the earth. The moon fully or partially blocks the sun's view, so we can't see the sun. And this happens only at the new moon, and about twice a year a solar eclipse happens also only during the day. A lunar eclipse is what we're talking about with this blood moon, and they are when the moon passes directly behind the earth into the earth's umbra or shadow. The sun, earth, and moon must be in alignment for this to happen, and just a note that a lunar eclipse happens only at night. Also, it's important to note that eclipses, all of them, are celestial events, and it takes 3 celestial bodies to make this happen, which is the sun, the moon, and the earth. And lastly, by the way, it is safe to watch a lunar eclipse. You can just watch it, look up into the skies and watch it. No special eyewear needed. But don't watch a solar eclipse without special eyeglasses, welding glasses. I think we used once. So anyway, what do astronomers say about this? Well, simply they rarely, if ever, use the term blood moon. They mostly use full lunar eclipse, and they also sometimes will call it a hunter's moon. A hunter's moon is the full moon that follows the harvest moon and is usually in late October. So what's special about these blood moons? Is there anything special at all? Well, these events are named the Tetrad blood moon. It is also named because the next 4 lunar eclipses will be full lunar eclipses. The eclipse tetrads are 4 complete lunar eclipses in a row. So NASA, just some information, NASA says that there will be over 12,000, actually 12,064 lunar eclipses between 1999 and the year 3000. So in 1,000 years, there'll be over 12,000 lunar eclipses. Of those 12,064, only out of those, only 3,479 will be total lunar eclipses or blood moons. And of those, only 142 of those will be lunar tetrads. So, something to think about there. So, they're very, very, very rare. And I think that out of the 142 lunar tetrads, how many will anybody actually see due to maybe cloudy weather or too much, light or something like that? Okay, so as stated on the last slide, there will be 4 lunar eclipses or tetrads within the next year and a half, 18 months. On April 15th, 2014, there was the first one, and the full moon passed through the amber shadow of the Earth, and it took about 78 minutes to complete that lunar eclipse. October 8th, 2014 will be the next one, then April 4th of 2015, and then September 28th, 2015. So although there are 4 eclipses in a short period of time, this is not it's not as commonplace as it appears to be. The last few centuries, there is usually 2 lunar eclipses per year, and the solar eclipses also happen about twice a year, but most of them are prenumbral or barely visible. There's 3 kinds of eclipses. There's the penumbra, which is so subtle that it's often even missed. A partial eclipse, which dips into the Earth's shadow, but not all the way. And then the total eclipse, which is what we're seeing with these full eclipses. Unlike the other 2 that pass through the Earth's umbra, this is what the full eclipse passed through the umbra. The terrestrial blood moon events are as rare as winning a hand of poker with a rare hand of 4 of a kind. It's even more rare is that all 4 of these that are scheduled to happen in the next 18 months are going to be visible in North America. Prior to the 20th century, there was a 300-year period where there was no blood moons eclipses at all. The sequence of types of eclipses are not always orderly, but it appears that in the more recent now and in the recent future, the severities are getting more and more orderly. So there's going to be 8 more before 2010 to 2100. So these phenomenons are celestial events. The first eclipse was seen by those living in North America on April 15th, as I already stated, and this was a full lunar eclipse, total eclipse. This being the first of 4 of the same to occur in the next year and a half. So why do we call it a blood moon? And why does the moon appear to be red? A full lunar eclipse, otherwise known as a blood moon, becomes orange-red color just at the point that the eclipse is becoming complete, as the video kind of showed that. The color is due to the sun's rays passing through the Earth's atmosphere and sending the rays to the moon. This illuminates the moon to a blood reddish color. So our moon looks slightly different every single night. If you look at the moon, over a period of 29, 30 days, you'll see that it changes every night slightly. And sometimes it's just a little sliver, and then it gets as full as a full bright moon. And the changes are due to the shadow on the moon, and it is called the phases of the moon. Watching the moon is a normal occurrence, and we see it in our sky, in our night skies, all the time. But this blood moon we don't see all the time. And as I stated in previous slides, it only happens, the lunar eclipses only happen twice a year, and the blood moon, the full eclipse, total eclipses, do not happen every single time. So during a blood moon eclipse, the moon passes through the shadow of the earth, turning deep red until returning to normal once the eclipse has ended. While the moon is in the umbra, all light is blocked, but it appears to be red due to the Earth's atmosphere. And this is similar to the reddish sunsets that we enjoy quite often. It's the atmosphere that makes that red color. But seeing a red moon in our night sky can freak people out, and it is. And people are coming up to all kinds of reasons why, that the end of the world and all of that. But some people are indeed freaking out about the blood moon, tetrad moons. In an article that I read in the Cleveland Daily Banner, and it was written by a William Wright, he asks, could a series of 4 blood moons be connected to the return of Christ and the end of the world? And he further discusses this, and it's true that some religious leaders are interpreting that in Joel 2:31 it states that the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. And that's, of course, the King James Version of the Bible. Peter is also quoted saying basically that same thing in Acts 2:20. And Revelation 6:12 talks about when the sun would become black and the moon turns to blood red. So, some people are absolutely freaking out and worrying that it's the end of the world. But as noted before, there are many full lunar or total lunar eclipses. And the most unique thing is that they will be visible in North America for all 4. And NASA is actually forecasting as another set of 8 tetrads before the year 2100. So those worrying about the end of the world, they state that the timing of these events is actually more important in the threat to the end of the world, and that they're in the sign that it's the end of the world, than the fact that they're occurring at all. And because 2 of the 4 are occurring during Passover, and the other 2 are occurring during the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles. So, I would say to those who are concerned that if you read the Bible, Joel 2:31 says that the moon shall be turned into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord, not before something traumatic or the world changing happens in Israel. So Matthew says in 24:4, and maybe this is what we need to think about a little more, is that we need to watch out that no one deceives you. So no, although there has been a lot of hype, it is not a prophecy of upcoming disaster. It's a phenomenon, a celestial phenomenon, and it's just nature, and that's all that it is. So this was a fun project, and I learned a lot about the blood moon. Bye.